With my affinity towards the technology, I felt
Mm.
product management is something where I belong the most.
Yeah.
And for me, coming to product management was something like homecoming.
First of all, does product management mean technology?
Not exactly. It is
Hmm.
not, if I have to give a one word statement, you are not exactly a technical person. You would be a person in the organization who would be from the customer side, who would be thinking from the customer side. Rather than communicating facts, you should communicate stories.
Hello and welcome
To
to
PPO
PPO.
journeys.
I am Manas Sakhe, a chartered accountant, MBA from IIM Indore, and now an incoming senior associate at BCG. In this series, I will host achievers who will share stories on how they secured their internships and bagged PPOs from some of your dream recruiters like the MBBs, Google, JP Morgan, Unilever, TAS, ABG, and many more. So, let's jump right in.
Hello and welcome. On today's episode, we have Vivekanand Pai. Vivekanand is an engineer, my dear friend and batchmate from IIM Indore, where he got his MBA. He interned with Microsoft, did really well there, and got a PPO. Welcome, Vivekanand. Really, really glad to have you here today.
Thank you, Manas. Thanks for having me here.
So let's jump right in. Why don't you tell us a little bit about how your MBA journey was?
Yeah, to give a bit of background, I'm a B in electronics and communication, and post that I worked as software developer for 3 years. Around 2020, when it was COVID, that is when it struck me, ki let's explore the career path. What more can I do? Rather than I was enjoying the work of software developer, but also what more could I do? And that is when the plan of having getting an MBA struck me, and I started my CAT preparation. And luckily, I must say, I got converted. I'm in the
So you lived and breathed technology right from when your engineering began, right? Had you decided that you wanted to go into tech or admin roles from the moment you entered campus, or was that an exploration need for you?
so actually, when I came to MBA, I was not aware of many of the rules which would be coming to IIM for the placements. So
Mhm.
the I always had an interest in technology, but when coming to MBA, I did not come with an intention ki I'll go to this role itself.
Mhm.
So that
Okay.
is something which I found out during my first semester, first 3 months at IIM.
Mhm.
And luckily I was able to make it to product management is what I must say.
So in addition to product management, did you have any other domains that you were prioritizing or preparing for in terms of your placements?
Yes, so
Mhm.
actually when I came to IIM, I had the intention ki the kind of job which I wanted, I did not want something monotonous. I wanted some things where I can keep learning, things keep changing, and you get a lot of learning opportunities. So with this
Right.
thing in mind, once I started exploring, I had two domains in my mind. One
Mhm.
is consulting and the other is product management. But
Okay.
with my affinity towards the technology, I felt product management is something where I belong the most.
Yeah.
And for me, coming to product management was something like homecoming, I would
Mhm.
say.
Now we come to probably the most stressful part of B school journey, right? Which is preparing for summer placements. How did you go about preparing for summer placements for Prodman Consulting, and how did you balance that with academics and all the thousand other things that were happening on campus?
Okay, so I would start with how the first term goes at IIM campus. So as soon as you enter, you are probably put into a high pressure zone where starting with academics, 2, 3 weeks into the college, you start getting quizzes, you start getting assignments along with your daily classes, and you
Mhm.
have to again prepare for the next day classes. So that is academics. Now
Mhm.
with this, the things start like clubs and committee selections, and few days into it you have the summer placement preparation. You are put into such pressure that is something which you feel the pressure or stress of it, and you start doubting yourself, did I do a correct job, do I belong it here, or did I do a correct decision of coming here? But then once you are into it, I feel you will start adapting to it, you'll start learning. The main things which I feel were necessary was the time management. And 1 month into it, you'll start managing your time. And once you know that, the B school journey is a cakewalk. Now, added to this, I feel you should, I was dedicated enough to study regularly. And with respect to academics, I guess half of your studies happen in the class. So once you prepare well and go for the classes, you would be able to manage academics well. Now, coming for the product management, I could divide my preparation for product management into three parts. First was to understand what product management role was and what all skill sets did I need. I guess YouTube and other blog posts were very helpful in this, where you get to know what are the requirements. So some key terms related with product management, such as KPIs, metrics, then you know personas. So once you have this base foundation set, that is when I ventured into what were the questions that would be asked in the product management interviews. So I found out that there were basically 3 to 4 type of questions, starting with guesstimates, then root cause analysis type of questions, product sense questions, and feature design questions. This also you have a lot of resources on YouTube, on LinkedIn, on various blogs on the internet. So that helped me. Adding to that, product management group, product club of our college did provide resources, and that was also helpful.
So along the journey of all of this preparation with friends and seniors and internet sources and so on, sometime you would have received the Microsoft shortlist, right? How did Microsoft contribute in your preparation for these placements? Did they engage with you before the interview? Did they provide you with any buddies or resources? What was your interaction with them like?
With Microsoft, you do not get a buddy as such. So you apply for that role on their own portal. And I got a shortlist 2 to 3 days before the interview. Although there was no help, but it ramps you up for the preparation, because you know there is something very high stake coming in 2 3 days, and you double down on your preparation. So that is one thing I could say. Getting the Microsoft shortlist helped me prioritize more on the product management interview preparation.
How was it on D-Day? How did your Microsoft summer placement interview go?
Okay, to give a glimpse of it, how Microsoft interviews work. So basically, it is a whole day process. It starts with a written round where you are given a case and you would product case kind of a thing, and you would have to come up with your approach and solution. That would be somewhere half an hour kind of a thing. And after that, the interviewers come and have a look at it, and that is an initial screening kind of a thing. Now, after that, I had 3 interviews, each of 1 hour. Now, in each of these, the main focus would be on the product side of the thinking. So,
Okay.
firstly, in the first round, it was mostly about my previous work ex and one product management question. So, going forward, it was totally a product management question interview. And finally, it was a director interview where again your product management skills are tested, and also few behavioral questions or quant questions. So this was the approach how it went.
So now I want to ask you one question that I usually ask at the end of such interviews, but I want to ask it now. For roles in product management, first of all, does product management mean technology?
Not exactly. It is not. If I have to give a one-word statement, you are not exactly a technical person. You would be a person in the organization who would be from the customer side, who would be thinking from the customer side. That is the short answer for this.
Like I said before, you live, breathe tech, right? Which is why this seems like a clear progression for you. Should someone who is not from a tech background stop watching this video right now? Do they have no chance at getting into product management?
Okay, no, I would not say that, because I myself have seen people who are not from tech background and still doing a very great job as a product manager.
Mhm.
So you have a good chance to make it without a tech background.
Okay.
Saying that, having a tech background always is to your advantage.
Hmm.
So for two things, firstly, you would be able to associate with the implementation part. So firstly, you come up with what is required, what does customer want, and that is the main job of the product manager.
Hmm.
For that,
Okay.
you do not need a tech knowledge. Second
Hmm.
part is to go to your technical team, development team, and having an interaction with them, what you want.
Hmm.
Now here, having a technological background comes into picture. So if
Right.
you have a technological background, it helps you connect quickly with them and understand what they're speaking. If what if you do not have a technological background or technical background? I
Hmm.
say it is nothing to worry. Initially, you might have to put a bit of extra effort compared to a
Hmm.
person who has a technical background. But then, probably in 6 months, you would be easily able to come to a level with this
Hmm.
person who has a technical background. So
Right.
I feel both of them have chances.
So you got into through to Microsoft, and the rest of the first year would have been cakewalk because you're just gearing up for a fantastic internship, right? Before you joined Microsoft, was there any specific preparation that you were required to do, or did you do some kind of preparation to gear up for the summer internship?
So
Hmm.
firstly, with the kind of organizations we get placed into in product management, you
Hmm.
those companies would have wide range of products. So there is nothing you can prepare with respect to product or your specific project. There are few skills which, if you master, would be helpful everywhere. Now, for example, soft skills such as presentations, communications, and hard skills such as PPT making, Excel, data analytics. These are
Hmm.
some things if you if you are able to work on it in your first year after the placement, that would
Yeah.
be, I must say, that would be helpful in probably all the projects wherever you go. So I
Hmm.
would say focus on these skills rather than preparing especially for the kind of project you would be put in.
So, well, I think I'll go to the open-ended question. What was your internship experience like? How did those 8 weeks go? What were your key learnings, pitfalls, tough times, great times, and so on?
To say it in one statement, I must say my internship experience was a roller coaster ride. When you are on the roller coaster, you go up and down, and you are always anxious about what would be coming next. But then,
Mm,
when you look back, it is something which was completely enjoyed, which is completely satisfying. Now, 8 weeks of internship, I would again divide it into three parts, 2 or 3 parts, I must say. So first part of the internship was to know the problem statement and the product space which I work in. Now, once you build up on this, second thing would be coming up with the approach. How would you approach your problem? That
right.
took around another 1 2 weeks, and finally would be coming up with the solution. Now, in this process, what I felt, my experience was when I was designing my approach, I took my 1.5 week, and after that time, I got to know the way the thing I was approaching was not the right one. That was something make or break time for me. Either I had to rework on it or give it up.
Mm,
But then I decided for myself कि now I still have time. I still had 3.5 weeks, so
mm,
I could make up for it. And also because I had focused a lot on my uh, understanding the customer and the product, I guess
mm,
that helped me to come to the ramp up quickly and also have the confidence at the end about my project. Now coming
okay.
to the second question about
Mm,
the key learnings.
yeah.
So I must say there are few key learnings which I learned from my internship, especially from my mentor and my manager. They helped me a lot throughout this journey.
Mm,
Firstly, rather than communicating facts, you should communicate stories. That is something which helps you make your thought process be communicated easily to your audience. They
mm,
connect with you quickly.
right.
So communicating through stories was one of the major learnings, either
Mm,
be it when you're talking with your manager, explaining your idea, or be it in the final presentation. It is
mm,
always helpful. The second thing was communicating with people and networking with them.
mm,
So initially, as soon as I joined, I had set up one-on-ones with all my teammates. with those one-on-ones, firstly, I was able to introduce myself personally, have a personal bond with them, and also I got to know what products they work on, how do they work, and what were the challenges they were facing. Now you would be stuck somewhere in the problem, and you know the other person whom you interacted with, that person had already was facing these challenges. So you can easily connect with them and get to know ki,
Hmm.
how did you approach this, and that helps a lot.
Great. So, heartiest congratulations on being the PPO, and I know you've also started working at Microsoft. So, all the best for that. But what are your parting messages for people who would be getting into MBA right now and would be looking to get internships with high-profile recruiters like Microsoft? What are your tips and suggestions, parting thoughts for them?
Yeah, firstly, with respect to MBA, I would say this is the most memorable 2 years of your life.
Hmm.
So make all of it, enjoy as well as study. Other thing, you can experiment a lot in these 2 years, so make complete use of them.
Hmm. True.
And with respect to internships, have a growth mindset. So be ready to learn anything that comes your way. Do not have preconceived notions or assumptions. And
Hmm.
finally, this one is something specific to Broadman rules. Be the customer's voice in your organization. So that is the final thing which I would want to stress upon.
Okay, I think that brings us to the end of this episode. Once again, thanks a lot for joining us, Vivekanand. I'm sure this all of this information would be very insightful people who would be wanting to enter the Prodman mean. So thanks a lot. It was a pleasure.